Hello, and welcome back.
Hello, every,
What'd you say?
hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone. We are 6 days away from the election, and we three-fifths of the political pulse are here to, I guess, put a pin in this whole election season. I am Tiffany. That's your girl, Millie Chan, and that is Double D, where the news is blaccurate. Okay. Um, we just gonna break down this week's political hot topics, conversations, hot button issues. At this point, and y'all can jump in if I'm wrong, but if you don't know who you're voting for, if you're voting or what your voting plan is, I don't know how much more we can say
No,
6 days out
right,
to
right.
convince you. Let's start with just how are you guys? Tiffany, you voted early in Louisiana. Um,
Yeah, there's an update in the voting I wanted to tell everybody about. 56.3 million people have voted early already, and 56.76 million people have voted early already. That's at least 53% of those were women. So women are definitely showing up and showing out at the polls. We need you guys to make it do what it do when you need to make it do what it do. The numbers are astounding. This is better than 2020. These early voting numbers, likely because Frumpy Dump is not telling his people not to vote early. So this is a very good thing that people are voting early is going to make it easier on election night. So early voting did close in Louisiana on October 29th, which was yesterday. But there are still places that you can early vote, and we really encourage you to early vote. Go ahead and make your vote count. If there's any snafus, like with your mail-in ballot, in some places they are asking that you walk your mail-in ballot down, just drop it off in person. They are asking that. So just keep that in mind. We don't want any snafus with your ballot. Some places don't have where you can track, but some places do. Make sure you check your local website to check and see if you can track your ballot if you are mail-in voting, because we don't need any snafus. And also vote blue down ballot.
Down the ballot.
Valid. Do you have any update on your Louisiana numbers? The guy who was keeping track,
Yeah,
last I saw, they were rather behind. He was polling, what's his name again, Tiffany?
Gary Chambers. Gary
Gary Chambers.
Chambers. Uh-huh.
Gary Chambers was tracking all of the black voters voting early in Louisiana, and in Louisiana they were down. I wanted to know if if you had an update on, like, did they come up a little bit? Did they
He
change?
didn't update to I didn't see an update today. I was really busy. But yesterday it did change. It did go up a bit. At first it was like one out of every 10 voter, black registered voter had voted early. It did go up to 3 out of every 10 black voter had a registered voter in Louisiana had voted. So that was a good thing. In Louisiana we tend over 900,000 black registered voters, and we tend to not vote. I mean, that is just quite honest. In the black community in Louisiana, I don't know why that is. We have MAGA Mike Johnson down here in northern Louisiana who's on the ballot. He's the House Speaker, and today there was a leaked video where he said that he wanted to him and Trump's secret plan was to take a blowtorch to the Affordable Care Act, which we know millions upon millions of people uh, use the Affordable Care Act. They are covered under the Affordable Care Act. They use the marketplace to get their health care. And
That
he's
was the
trying to
secret
say,
he was bragging about on stage at the
yeah.
so
rally?
someone yelled it from the audience. They said something to the effect, "Oh, that was the secret," and then he smiled and kind of laughed or whatnot. And then he said that they're going to be really in the first 100 days, if Donald Trump is elected, they're really going to be tackling regulation. This is something that they're going to be doing to try to ease some of these regulatory issues that they feel like these businesses have. And one of the things that he said is they're going to be looking at healthcare, and they're going to be taking a blowtorch to all of those regulations. It's very important to note that a lot of these states,
Yeah.
37 states in the in the country, in the United States, have expanded their Medicaid programs under the Affordable Care Act. So that means a lot of people who were not eligible for the Medicaid are now covered under Medicaid because of the Affordable Care Act. My own son, who's autistic, just received Medicaid about a couple of weeks ago. Even though we don't income qualify, we were able to get in Medicaid with our primary insurance, and then the Medicaid covers what our primary insurance doesn't cover, like the deductible. Because even though
That's
we are
amazing.
not, yeah, even though we are not, even though we don't income qualify for Medicaid, years ago we wouldn't receive Medicaid. However,
Mm-hmm.
because of the Affordable Care Act, we can receive Medicaid, and it will help us with those expenses related to our son. There are millions of people covered through that expansion that are like me, that are going to see a financial hit if Donald Trump and MAGA Mike Johnson have their way. So what
And
I'm
not just Mike Johnson, even scarier than that, RFK Jr. came out today and said that allegedly Donald Trump has promised to give him complete control over all of our World Health Organization agencies.
That is
right,
so scary.
The
That's
mhm,
man who put the bear in the trunk and rode around with him,
it
and he
is.
kept him because he was going to eat him. And we
Mhm.
all know that bears have a ton of parasites, and out of all the wildlife that you should be eating, not be eating, you should definitely not be eating bears.
Absolutely,
it is.
absolutely.
It's so scary because I mean, it's scary across the board. I feel like we don't know anything that Donald Trump is planning to do for America, whether it's good or bad. We know it'll be bad. We know that we have no idea what he's going to do. He has concepts, and it's just it is amazing to me. I told Elle that like y'all have it together, and I just want to speak from my heart because at this point, Elle opened up saying, if you don't know, we have 6 days at this point. Um, I've seen a lot of rhetoric by a lot of black men who are like, we're not voting, we're not doing that. I
Mm.
feel like that is just the weak species because if you can't support black women in a time of need, like what is your purpose? And you would not vote for Kamala because she's a black woman, but vote for Donald Trump because he's just a man who has no substance, no
Mhm.
no idea about what's going on in the world. He clearly
Mhm.
doesn't care. If he didn't check that dude for talking about Puerto Rico, and then you go back to what is it, Hurricane Maria, when he threw,
He said he never heard of him. How could he check him? According to him, he don't know who the guy is. He
but
don't know
he
who he
didn't
is, and
have to
JD
know.
Vance never heard the clip.
He didn't have to know. This was his event. And he could have run up on that stage and said, look, wait a minute, I'm here for the American people. Had he said that, that would have been the first presidential thing that he could have ever said. But he's not for the American people. And if you all are waiting on a check for $1,200 and you haven't voted, I need you to understand you're not getting a check.
No.
Well,
We will never sit down like that again. I don't think so. And if we do, I just
You
don't
know how
understand.
wrong
you
things
know,
have to absolutely be for us to ever
Super
sit
wrong.
down the way we sat down that way. And again, okay, fine. The problem that I always have with the 1200 is not even who gave it, whose name was on it. Ugh, okay.
Mhm.
You got the 1200, and because of that 1200 and a bunch of other things, the economy turned upside down. And now at this point, I would just rather go back to those prices before they gave us the
Yep.
$1,200. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are in part of the shit that we are in is because of these checks.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And,
Amongst other things, they were helpful at that time for sure. A lot of people needed them. We're not negating that,
mhm.
but
And like right here, Everett said, I got about 14 young ones who think Kamala is crooked. Like, okay,
it's
if
all
you
good.
think Kamala is crooked and Trump is a felon, what do they think about Trump? No, he doesn't
you know,
like.
I
Go
just
ahead.
want to interject and I just want to interject and say that, this whole notion that there's this whole mass exodus of black women and men that are going to vote for Donald Trump, I don't believe that. I know there are some. I
I
know
don't
there
think
are some. There's a small section of black people that are black men, especially that are going to be casting their ballots for Donald Trump. But I don't think that there's this large amount that we need to worry about. Of course, we know that. I mean, let's just be honest about black men here, and I'm just going to keep it a stack. You know, black men tend to be fairly conservative. I've been seeing that around a lot, where they say black men tend to be really conservative in the ways of, you know, they want their women, you know, home. They want, you know, those sort of conservative values that what the Republican Party, I guess you would say, used to be. This is where people are getting this from, that there's going to be this mass exodus of black people that are going to be voting to Donald Trump. I'm going to tell you this: our black men may be a little jaded in certain ways, but they're not stupid. You know what I'm saying? Our black men are not stupid. Okay.
At large, I absolutely don't think they're stupid.
I don't think that black men are stupid. I think that they understand that Donald Trump is a threat to democracy. I think that they understand that a lot of the rhetoric that he spews around is directed toward them and toward people of color. I think that they understand that when he sits down with them and he talks to them about his mugshot, and he sits down and talks with them about Section 8 and food stamps and and his gold sneakers, that is not a compliment. He goes over into the next room with billionaires and he talks to them about these big tax credits, but he only wants to talk to you about his food stamps and Medicaid. I don't think that black men are willfully ignorant or obtuse to the fact that Donald Trump wants to give police officers blanket immunity that will directly affect them. I don't think that they are like that. So this whole thing, you know, I can't wait to see the numbers. I remember back in 2020 when we were reporting on the election, and we found out that 55% of white women had voted for Donald Trump. That is the number that I'm ready to see, you know, because white women really have something on the line this election, because they're not, let's just be honest with this, with the overturning of Roe v. Wade, they were not trying to control the uteruses of black women. They weren't trying to control our uterus. They didn't care if we had an abortion or not. Let's just keep it a stack, keep it 100, keep it a buck. They don't care whether we have an abortion. They don't care about the many fetuses that we abort. They don't care about that. But what they do care about is those white fetuses. That's what they care about. And those white uteruses, they care about those. And when they show up at the ballot box, these white women are going to speak and they're going to say, you can't control me anymore. You have controlled me, but you can't control me anymore. So I'm waiting to see if this number of 55% is going to drop down to 25%. That's what I'm waiting to see.
I do think that's what I was going to say. I do think that group is going to be the biggest change. I don't think by any means that, like you said, this mass exodus of black men exists anywhere other than in the media. The same way that I don't believe that in real life, this election is as close as they are making it. Like sometimes you just have to look at it like people do things that benefit them at large and on a grand scale. And then when we talk about illegal things, people do illegal things definitely because there is a benefit on their behalf. If the real numbers were showing that Trump is ahead, and or it was even as close as they're trying to make it seem, we wouldn't be blowing up ballot boxes. I literally had a guest scheduled for my live this morning that had to cancel because what they do, a judge in her state was being threatened due to this election, and they had an all hands on deck meeting. Like in real life, these things are happening. And so I don't think by any stretch of the imagination that it's this close. I think that this is part of the ploy to get people to not come to the polls, to not vote early.
You know, when I say that about black men, I mean, I have seen like black men. Honestly, I think the other day on the Plaza's comment, that was the first time I saw like a black woman say, I voted for Trump. And that shook me a little bit because I was like, wow, you just really don't understand what you've done. You know, and I feel like I've seen black men say, I'm not voting for Kamala because she's this and she's that. She's too emotional. But Trump is emotional. At this point,
very emotional. But I think
his leg back. That's what he's trying to do. He's not thinking about the American people. He's not thinking, okay, let me for the greater. He won't even lie to pretend like he's thinking about the American people. He is literally wanting to get his lick back because he didn't get an additional 4 years.
And that reigns supreme. But I think your brother said it. Trey said it in our very first episode. You cannot scare people about things that just haven't happened yet. So no matter how scary he is, no matter how big this seems, no matter how, they'll never do that because we haven't seen it yet. And I don't know why January 6th was not enough. I don't know why him telling you he's a dictator is not enough. I don't know why Elon Musk in his hat that was a clear nod to the Nazi rally that happened at Madison Square Garden is not enough. I don't know why these things are not enough proof, but they haven't seen how bad it can get. And so it's all fun and games. Some of these ignorant people are doing it for the plot. Zach has joined us. Hello,
Hey,
hello,
Zach,
hello.
how are you?
Hey, everybody. I know I missed some great conversation, but I'm happy to make it for the final call. It's been such a busy day, a long day. You brought up some great, you said something great that, and I want to tell people, of course, a lot of social media platforms are suppressing, political content, but I have some really fun and interesting interviews that I did for a company called Onyx Impact. And so I'm one of their, I don't know what I'm called. Like they call it like people who are fighting misinformation and disinformation in general. And
Come on,
so
freedom fighter.
yeah, kind of. Yeah, there you go. A freedom fighter, a truth seeker. And so
Okay.
I was given the task of going to one music fest to do man on the street interviews, which isn't something I typically do, but they were really funny. I know I'm funny in real life. Like you guys probably, I'm funny too. Like I say some really hilarious things.
You're not
But
selling it right now, though.
no, because this is a public facing persona. I'm very professional about information, sharing information, very teacherly, as you would know, Elle. But these interviews could not help but bring out that what my friends see more of. So that was probably going to be very interesting for people to see. But just the comments, and yeah, there were some women who are not voting for Kamala. So I think, but you will see some good storytelling. You will see some funny things, and you will see like some things that I think people need to see. I'm going to start posting those in the morning, and so please do feel free to share, because I know the TikTok algorithm isn't going to show it to anybody, but it's really worth seeing. I have like 6 really good interviews. They're brief, they're like 2 minutes, but they're funny. They're so funny.
To nobody.
Yeah, no.
Not if you look like us.
We want to hit our first topic.
That's what I was about to say. So our first topic is today we found out that Kim Kardashian had to take down her 8-year-old son Saint West YouTube page for posting a YouTube short that alluded to calling Kamala Harris a poop emoji. I can't find the video. I have a detail of what the video is, and not to stand by Saint West, but I do also want to say that Saint West out of his mouth did not call Kamala Harris shit, and that's what the headlines make it look like.
Right.
So it's a meme short video, and if you've ever seen them, it's like this little stick figure, and it's like, oh no, I stepped in poop, and so you look down at the shoe, and then when you pick the shoe up to or to wipe off the poop that you stepped in, instead of it being a poop smear, it was a picture of Kamala.
Elle, I just want to say really quickly that tonight I got my daughter's phone to bring it, to get it, and she was making shorts. I did not know my daughter's made 1,700 shorts. Okay, and that particular, I'm just going to show you one here that she's made.
God.
This is my kid.
Okay.
This is her making shorts.
Okay.
Did not know that she was making shorts. Let me see if I can let you guys hear it. Hold on. I did not know this. The kid has made, some of them are just like, I guess you would say like filters or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them are filters or whatnot. Some of them she's drew on them. Some of them she's actually doing like little voiceovers or dancing. But within them, there was one, and I just completely passed over it. I didn't know anything about the Saint West thing, was Kamala Harris was one of these little filters that they had on there. Now I don't know if it was a poop. I'm gonna have to go back and really look through to find it. I don't know if it was a poop on there, but I will if it was like something that was already preset in that
Yeah.
this kid did, because this is what my daughter's doing. She's doing. I mean, she's done tons of them. They're just and she's done tons of them.
So
Kim
and the difference
deleted
is
his whole. She deleted the whole YouTube.
the
Because
whole page is gone.
yeah,
But
yeah, she
Saint
deleted the
wasn't
whole YouTube because
in
at this
the
point,
video.
Kim Kardashian cannot afford to have any negative nothing said about her, her family, or anything. So she deleted the baby's whole page. I know that probably was like your daughter, Tiffany, but at the same time, like, what are you doing at this 11th hour?
Well, first of all, not even what are you doing at this 11th hour? That is it's a very detailed meme video, right? Like it's very clear, cut and to the point what this is. To intentionally choose as an 8-year-old to upload that, to me, says one or two things. Number one, an adult got the 8-year-old phone and we could just
Yep.
pass it off like the 8-year-old did it, and now everybody's talking about it. Kris Jenner and them love to play that game. Or
Yeah.
B, something rhetoric is being spewed in your house that made you feel like this was okay. No
Right.
matter which scenario it is, the only all white babies in that family is Kourtney's. The rest of them, and yes,
are
they're
black.
women and all of that, but to just make it real plain, they don't have time to play them reindeer games outside of Christmas.
No.
Not the family with
I
the
can
trans
agree.
mother.
I don't know. I don't know what that was about. I do know that I saw something with Kamala Harris on it. I don't know if it was like a preset like thing that they have in shorts, because you know shorts is now kind of different. I can't speak to that. Now I do know that he would have had to put that sound. You know what I'm saying on there. If there was a sound, he would have had to insert that sound. So it's
I'm
likely something that.
interested. Keep me posted when you find it.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to look for it when I get off of here, because she's got 1,700 videos. I was just strolling through just to see what she was doing. All of them are set to private, so no one can see them. She just makes them just to be no one can see them but her. But she just
I know
makes
you would
them
be out on the floor if they was
Baby,
public, so that part was assumed.
1,700 videos.
That
I
is
was
wild.
deceased, and she comments to her and her brother. They comment. It's just weird, those two. But
But
anyway,
1,700 is wild. You just happen to look at
I
that.
just looked in there, and her dad kind of monitors these things or whatnot, because
Mhm.
she has a cell phone. Her dad pays the bill. You know, he takes care of all that.
Yeah.
Tonight, I just paused it because she had it on when she handed me the phone, because you know they're in bed, and I just paused it. And I'm like, what the heck you doing with YouTube Shorts? So I just kind of go strolling through. And she had like I went to her page. She had like 1,700 videos. My husband's got them all. They're all set to private. No one can see them, but you know,
That's
I,
what they do.
I
They
thought
get
it was kind of.
together.
I thought it was kind of cute that she was doing something. She was a Black Accurate News. Her and DJ, they were doing the Black
I love
Accurate News.
that.
It was cute. That was cute. I was excited about that one. But
Yeah,
anyway,
that was cute.
yeah.
No, that's
Like
what they do.
Danny said,
First of all,
kids
my
repeat
daughter
what
has
they
a
hear.
two shorts.
Kids repeat what they hear and do what they see in their house. So kudos to you, Double D.
Mm-hmm.
They repeating
Thank
the
you,
Black
ma'am.
Accurate News. Okay, I like it out here. Donald Trump, he's obsessed.
He can't decide if he mad about the appearance, or he can't decide if he mad there was no show. Like insane in the membrane. Like this man is going to complain about everything when it comes to Kamala instead of talking to his people and telling them what he is planning for them. Now you mad she didn't perform?
It was just a dance party. And then when we found out it wasn't a dance party, we said, "Oh, damn, it should have been a dance party."
Let me say this. I did not like that. I didn't. I reposted one without him in it. I just didn't know how to feel about that. That bothered me. Like Beyonce, that bothered me so bad. I don't know why, it just did. It bothered me.
I think it's bothersome because it almost makes it feel like he can do no wrong. We turn everything that he does true. We turn everything that he does into a joke. And I mean, that's really the essence of us. We the same Black people that call each other the N-word. You know what I mean? We rebrand the shit. We find the humor in it. We make it funny. That's just what we do. but it does in the world of virality make it feel like, okay, when we gonna start taking him serious?
Yeah. You can bring up the garbage truck. I see Adrena.
How do you like my garbage truck? This truck is in honor of Kamala and Joe Biden.
First off, I want to say he knows how to pronounce her name. Let's just get that right there. Every time he gets on here, Kamala, you know how to pronounce her name. You pronounced it correctly on your garbage truck. But people, this is where your money going for tricks and jokes and things of that nature. Like, this is not affecting you it's not helping you at all.
For those who don't know, let's give a little backstory on the garbage truck and where that comes from. Last night, President Biden, or maybe earlier in the day or something, he was speaking with I think it was a Latino network or something like that, and he had like a gaffe. In my opinion, he told the truth. In a lot of people's opinion, he told the truth. But he said that they asked him about what happened at Donald Trump's Madison Square Garden rally. He said that God, I done lost my train of thought reading that comment. I'm sorry. But he said they asked him about what happened at the Madison.
He said that his followers were trash.
And he said he responded and said, well, the only trash I see floating is his supporters or whatnot. He said that.
Oh, wow.
And then now everybody's upset because President Biden said that he did clarify his comments. He said that he meant to say, that what happened there was garbage, that was trash, not the supporters as a whole. But we have watched Donald Trump call Jewish people vermin. We have watched Donald Trump call what did he call the ones that wanted to protest, use their the football players? What did he call them? Son of a bitches. Mm-hmm. We have heard him time and time again insult people, throw paper towels at people from Puerto Rico, Mexican shithole countries. We have heard him call people every name under the sun during that very same Madison Square Garden cult rally. That was actually one of the jokes was supposed to be that they were going to call Kamala Harris the C word. That was one of the jokes. So in my opinion, it was absolutely ridiculous for them to kind of jump on this situation. I understand that President Biden shouldn't have said that, but at the end of the day, we have people that are wielding machetes, 18-year-olds wielding machetes at polling places. In my opinion, that's trash. That's garbage.
And then for you to want to be the president, Donald Trump, but this is how you respond to Kamala Harris, who would be someone in America that you would be representing. This is what you uphold, things like this. And that's why I just don't understand. I just don't get it. I don't understand. I don't understand the non-support of Black women. The ones who don't support are the ones who don't even read. Right?
A lot of them.
We're still talking about these checks. We're still talking about the checks that Congress gave. We're still talking about those checks. And it's $1,200, and it was 9,000 years ago. You're never going to get $1,200 again from the president of the United States. That's never going to happen.
Yeah.
And you still holding on to $1,200.
Hopefully it doesn't happen under
$1,200 now.
Hopefully it doesn't happen under those type of circumstances for sure. We're in another pandemonium. I hope that situation doesn't happen at all. But you guys, Donald Trump is doing everything that he can at this point to try to grab attention. He has instead of him getting up there talking about his policies, what he plans to do for the American people, he's rolling out in a garbage truck and he's wearing a garbage outfit to his rally. Kamala Harris made him go work at McDonald's for 15 minutes, pretend to work at McDonald's for 15 minutes.
Exactly.
And now we have President Biden making him come out dressed as a garbage man. Like I told them on my Facebook page, he must be practicing for when he has to pay that $464 million civil judgment in New York. Maybe he's practicing for what his job is going to be after that.
He might be practicing for something, but I know one thing that this Puerto Rico joke, and this is what I want to say. Number one, the people that want to say, oh, it was just a joke. He's a comedian. You need to toughen up, right? Like all of these conservative Republicans and all of that. You guys understand Catholic Church, right? You understand decorum. You understand that there are certain things that you do inside of certain places. If Tony was at his Netflix special at Madison Square Garden and it had no political affiliation, maybe people would have just been like, I don't like that joke. But to be standing at a rally, to be there lending your support and endorsement to help get a new president in office for a second term, your joke was inappropriate inside of the confines. But due to the backlash, Nicky Jam, somebody who has previously endorsed Donald Trump, come out to Donald Trump rallies, has now pulled his endorsement for Donald Trump. He said, the reason I endorsed Donald Trump was because I thought he was best for the economy in the U.S., where a lot of Latinos live. I never thought a month later a comedian would say such vile things. Cannot believe it. His father is Puerto Rican. He is pulling his support. Now, Nicky Jam has 43 million Instagram followers.
Wow.
How many can vote here and make a change, but he does have quite a platform and quite a megaphone. What do you guys think about the backlash? Do you think that this we'll see a dent in the numbers as it pertains to Latinos for Trump?
Let me just get my part out. First, I think it's crazy they don't even know Puerto Rico is part of America. I'm done. The fact that they don't understand it's part of the United States of America, that's crazy. Why didn't they say something about Hawaii? Because you got to fly to it?
Well, that's because... Never mind. Well, we could talk about the U.S.
Yeah, what I was going to say, yes, it's going to impact Latino voters across the country. Pennsylvania is a swing state that is a must-win for Donald Trump. He has two paths. He has one path to the presidency. Vice President Kamala Harris has three. If Donald Trump does not win either Pennsylvania or Georgia, he will not be president of the United States of America. There's no way he's going to be able to close the deficits in the polls. That's why you see him coming to Georgia again. He came here Monday. He's coming back here next week, I think again on Monday. J.D. Vance has been here twice this week as well. This is a must-win state. He's really only focused on two states, Pennsylvania and Georgia, and he's assuming he's going to win North Carolina. If either of those states fall out of play, he's out of this game. He will not. There's no path. Pennsylvania has over 400,000 Puerto Ricans, not Hispanic voters, Latino voters, Puerto Rican voters.
Wow.
So this man allowed and didn't disavow it. Donald Trump could have gotten on that stage at his Nazi rally held at Madison Square Garden to reintroduce America to the official America First Party, which is what they did in 1934. And he could have said that what this comedian said was wrong. He could have rebuked him on the stage. He could have told him it wasn't appropriate, but he did not. Puerto Ricans saw this across this country. The guy you just mentioned, who is worthless to me, said something. He's been worthless in my eyes from the moment he endorsed Donald Trump. For a coin or two. So he might have 400,000 millions of followers, but it obviously don't translate into money because he was desperate for that Trump cash. But not only did that moron disavow him, so too did Bad Bunny, who has more followers. So too did Jennifer Lopez. So too did Mark Anthony. So too did Ricky Martin. So it's just a barrage of noted and famous Puerto Ricans, including the newspaper, the main source of news for Puerto Ricans. All of them have come out strongly against Donald Trump because of what he did not do and rebuking this comedian. So I don't think that at this point Donald Trump can win the state of Pennsylvania. I don't think he's now putting in jeopardy Florida, which also has a large number of Puerto Rican voters. I personally believe that Donald Trump is very well aware that he is not going to be president, and he is creating and launching and use that as a launch pad for a new party so that he can maintain his relevance and he can then continue to do what he's doing, because he knows that if he loses this election, his time in the Republican Party will come to an end.
Agreed. I 100% agree with that sentiment. He knows that he's going to lose. At this point, there's no way that he doesn't know. He's made way too many missteps. It began long ago, but I mean, when the J.D. Vance did the stuff with the childless cat ladies thing, it's been downhill from there. He is literally an industry plant. And then you Invite someone to your rally to speak. And have you seen some of the garbage? This comedian, have you seen some of the garbage that this guy's done in the
Yeah,
past?
he did Kevin Hart's roast.
Have you seen some of that? It
Yeah.
would be like the LGBTQIA plus community inviting Dave Chappelle as their comedian. That's what it would. That's what it's akin to. I mean, it's the same thing. They invited someone up there that is aligned with their values, with what they believe, because
Absolutely.
this man has insulted Asians, this man has insulted Latinos, he's insulted every race that is not white. They knew what they were getting. And that is exactly why today Donald Trump has said that he was going to sue Pennsylvania today. He's already trying to create.
He's accusing them of voter fraud.
Yeah, he's already creating this. They cheated thing, because he knows he's gonna cheat. He's doing the same thing that he did in 2020. That he right now he's doing the same exact thing. This is the same exact playbook. And I don't know if you guys know very much about Rudy Giuliani. And I'm gonna be quiet really quickly. I just want to say this: Rudy Giuliani is the architect of teaching people how to cheat, saying that they lost elections and cheating. Rudy Giuliani had ran for mayor. What was it? 2 times in
lost.
New York, and he lost.
Yes.
He lost the first time, and he basically said that he was cheated. That's why Donald Trump was so close to Rudy Giuliani, because he said that he was cheated. He said that it was voter fraud. This is the same exact thing. Donald Trump got this from him. It's the same exact thing. If you guys don't believe me, there is this documentary on Hulu exactly about Rudy Giuliani and that entire playbook that he used when he lost the mayoral election. I believe it was back in the 70s when he lost it the first time.
Yep.
And it is exactly the same. He's doing the same exact thing. That's why he can't leave. He can't push the human skid mark to the side. He's got to have him next to him so he can continue to.
Because it's not an original thought.
You know.
But I believe you, Tiffany, because I don't think that he has an idea of. Well, I know he doesn't have an idea of what goes on in politics, what should go on in the White House, what it takes to be a president. So if there's anyone who has been in government, anyone who's run for something, has ran something, I feel like if they are affiliated with him, he locks onto that and he uses that model because he does not know. It's like really Mickey Mouse just coming up at the 11th hour and being the president because he has no idea what's going on.
That's 100% what it is. Our last story is absolutely rooted in alleged. But the reason that I want to talk about this on top of just the tea of it all is because I do want to ask again, is there anything that can shift that women's voter margin that Tiffany Double D Mother was talking about earlier today? So a little bit, yesterday rather, on a Substack from a journalist, we got a story that alleged to a rumor, an affair between Donald Trump and Tamron Hall. This affair would have allegedly happened circa 2016 through 2017. In there, they uncovered somebody who had hacked into Donald Trump's emails. They've got voicemails. They've got Tamron Hall on the voicemail clip. And then there is substantial evidence, which is what the article said, and they didn't say what the evidence was, to suggest that Tamron Hall had a baby by Donald Trump, and then they got an abortion.
Hold one moment, because you jumped in. I had unmuted because I wanted to tag to Double D and what she had added, and then
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't.
No, it's fine. But Deidre brought it back up, and I'm like, I gotta address it. Like Deidre, okay. I was gonna say exactly what you just said. I agree with the outrage over what he said about Puerto Rico, but the problem is too many of us did not sit here and even look at the stories about the rally. I didn't watch the rally either. I was literally, I was traveling. I wasn't even, in a place to watch it. I was on an airplane, but I read about it and I looked at what was happening, just to be aware. And we're talking about what he said about Puerto Rico. We're not talking about what he said about black people. He talked about a black man wearing something that looked like a lampshade on his head, and then said they drilled watermelons together. He took it back to some of the most racist, ignorant stereotypes in terms of black people.
I do want to jump in. That needs to be put out there. I did cover that. I covered that story. I actually also covered where the trope of watermelons to black people came from, and not just what he said, but why what he said was offensive. And I took it all the way back to before he was emancipated. So I do think that there are some people that, and I said this too, as a Black person, I do think that it was skewed. We did jump on the Puerto Rico train, and there weren't equally as many people in headlines talking about Black people, right?
Mhm.
However, sometimes in this political season, people get so used to the news because Trump has turned this into a pop culture thing. We forget that it is kind of a news thing. This is a business. These are politicians, right? So when we're pushing out news stories, if I'm working for Kamala HQ, I'm pushing out news stories in a place where I can pick up voters.
Right.
The Black vote is pretty much secured. To Tiffany's point, there is not an influx of Black men that are going to exit from the Black part. Kamala pretty much secured the Black vote. So when we're looking at all of the things that were said inside of this rally, we're also looking at where can I pick up votes? And that's where news headlines and things like that come from. But I personally, as a Black girl, Deidre, and
I
wrote
cover
it
it
down.
too, but I agree with what Elle said there 100%. Although he did say the stuff about, he said some disgusting things about Latinos as well, Mexicans as well, and then he said what he said about Black people, but the watermelon thing. But I really agree with them. Really, the media really focusing in on Puerto Ricans because, quite frankly, Kamala had just released that very day her initiative for Puerto Ricans, and it had not got that much traction. It had not got that much traction. I'm gonna keep it a stack.
Because
I'm
remember
always worried about posting the thing, worry about, like, I posted it, but I posted it in text form. I like to post what her videos, but sometimes she uses music that is copyrighted, or sometimes I might get a ding, so I really can't use her stuff. So I posted it when I saw it that morning in text form, but it would not have gotten very much traction if it had not been for that stupid comedian.
I'm sorry, whose page is he from?
I don't know him.
I don't know where
he can't be from. I know he can't be from the Black
disagree on, but you not gonna sit up here and call me no slave now. That's not.
Go ahead and block him.
I don't have it on my end. That's why I said who page he coming from. He not on my page.
Let me see if I can.
He said talking amongst slaves ain't gonna solve nothing. Like,
okay, I took care of it.
Yeah.
And see, therein is the problem. That is the problem with people. I want to go for this, that, and other. You can't say whatever you want to say. First of all, that don't bother me because I don't even know what their life is about. I just
I ain't no slave.
So, I mean, because I think people feel like they really are hurting your feelings when they say things like that. You can't hurt my feelings because that's not who I am, right? But the fact that I don't want my grandchildren not to know that where they're living in this world, it was built from slaves. That's important. So yes, he needs to be deleted, blocked forever.
Yeah, no, he's gone. Thank you,
That's
Tiffany. I'm sorry to cut you off. Because
Yeah.
I put it up. I first read it because he was like, "You're not talking to somebody who disagrees," and I'm like, "Okay, cool, fair. Put it up. Let's hear it." While I was reading it amongst the company,
Child, we can't let these people. I don't know. Maybe he stumbled across it because he's in my stuff, but I know he ain't follow. He can't be a follower of mine.
Yeah, I don't know who.
But anyway, to your so the Tamron Hall thing. Let's scurry back to that really quick.
okay. So sorry. So. Like I said, allegedly the story goes that they had an affair in 2016. That affair resulted in Tamron Hall being pregnant with Donald Trump's baby. He made her get an abortion. The validity of this story, I do not know, right? Alleged. There's no proof there. My question to you guys is, if this story were to be true, would it sway women voters and voters just in any margin to know that you have this man who is pushing pro-life but is now participating in it, and then B, you've got this conservative party and he's cheating on his wife? He was married in 2016.
Do you think they care about that?
Right,
No,
I mean, I don't, but I wanted to ask y'all.
He cheated on his wife with a corn star.
Yeah, he's a felon. He's a felon, and
nobody
people
cares
don't care.
about child. Nobody cares if he had a baby with Tamron. We probably
just
would be giving her the
devastated.
side eye, but he's not going to lose any voters based on that.
Yeah.
You think Donald Trump has never paid for an abortion in the past? Come on. Come on now. I mean, what did he say? That his Vietnam was going through the 80s and not getting gonorrhea, not getting the AIDS or something, is what he said back in the day. Come on now.
What he said.
I mean, he said something.
This man also said that back in the day, if he ran for president, he would run
that right
as a
there was
Republican.
just slanderous to.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
just slanderous to Tamron Hall. I wouldn't
yeah,
cover
it's
that.
just
So if
devastating.
it's true, you think she fell on the sword for no reason?
No, first of all, he got a Tamron Hall. No, I don't. I
No,
can't do this one now. You go have we got the
no.
backpedal and peep up out of that one.
Yeah,
Like,
I
can't
feel
do
like
it.
it is embarrassing for Tamara, and just like somebody said in here, please tell me Tamara did not sleep with Donald Trump. Like it's devastating to us. It's not devastating to him. He is a felon. He, you
They
know,
didn't care about none of that. They not
no,
gonna.
they don't care about what he does to women.
I would need you to back up off the felon thing because there are good people that might be felons.
No. But the good people are not running to be president of the United States. I'm saying
This is true.
I know felons. I know people that are felons. They're great people. They're great people. But what I'm saying is, I don't want my country to be run by one.
Okay,
That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not talking about anybody who tried to make it and got caught up and got in a little trouble. I'm not talking about that person. I'm talking about the person who doesn't even care. There could be some fellas be like, you know what? I've been here. I've done that. We're not going to do this. This is what I would like to do. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about somebody who does not even care about women, right? About
At all.
paying, how you say, corn stars. Like, this is what I'm talking about.
right.
To rule the free world, that man don't even follow rules. You think his answer to crime is letting the police free for a day to clear it up? There's no way you can clear crime up in a day. All the black men will have to stay inside for that 24 set hours because they could
You're gonna clear the way for people to live out their fantasies is what you're gonna clear.
Exactly. So that's what I mean. That's what I mean, Double D. I don't mean all of us regular folk felons or them.
Hey man, because we have all sinned and fallen short.
We've all fallen short. I'm just talking about the ones that's trying to rule the world. That's the one I'm talking about.
The last one I'm gonna end off with is, and I don't have a picture, but have you guys seen this political art that has been popping up in the National Mall? They had one which was a replica of Nancy Pelosi's desk with a poop emoji on it, and that statue or monument, if you will, was meant to represent the gross people of J6. That this is clearly like an anti-Trump thing. And then you had the other one, the torch for Trump, and it was meant to highlight the fact that he again called these the people who did the march in Charleston good people. So they were both of his insurrections that he incited, to kind of remind people to not forget. The table should be gone today. They should have removed it, and then the torch will be gone tomorrow if you're not out there to go take pictures. But that's the type of carrying on that I like. That's the type of political statements that I like. Put some thought into it, dedicate it, put it out there, and let the people marinate on it. I'm into that.
So I think, does anybody else have anything to say? Because I think we're getting ready to wrap up the wrap up.
We're gonna wrap up the wrap up. I'm gonna say, if you haven't voted early, if you're not going to vote early, please vote on November 5th. Make sure you have a plan. If you can, take somebody with you. Go to the poll at least +1, child. I don't know if you're gonna be able to get 5 people to go with you. If you can, good job. But at least go to the poll with somebody else. Go on a voting date, get some coffee, and save democracy.
Oh, that's nice. That's cute. I would like that.
Yes, let's go voting.
I would be impressed. It's safe.
That's
I like that. You're doing your civil duty. Okay, it's a man of substance. I'm with it.
Come on, Queen's Court.
I'm just gonna say, you guys, make sure you vote early. Make sure you, if you can't vote early, scurry on down there to those polls on November 5th and make it do what it do. We need to vote down ballot. Remember what I told you. If you are in Louisiana, I know some of you ones that follow me. If you're up in northern Louisiana, you can vote against MAGA Mike Johnson. Go ahead and do that. We need to make sure we take care of the Affordable Care Act. If Donald Trump wins, we can basically kiss the Affordable Care Act goodbye if we do not have control of the House and the Senate. That's why we need you guys to vote blue down ballot. We also need you guys to be participating. I know for me here in my city, I drive the church van. on a election day to drive people down there to the polls, all the older people and people who don't have a ride. Get involved, take somebody you know, and then y'all ones that the players are here. Make sure y'all join me tomorrow at 9:30 Central Standard Time for another brand new episode of the Real Tea with Double D, where we will be talking about Candace Owens getting kicked out and banned from Australia. Somebody put that in the comments so we can talk about that tomorrow. And a plethora of other things. I'm ready to make it do what it do when I need to make it do what it do. So make sure y'all go ahead and join me tomorrow, 9:30 Central Standard Time, and follow me and subscribe if you're not. Thanks, y'all.
Would you put Janet J's coming up?
Which one?
About the date, the coffee date, and saving democracy. I love that. Absolutely.
Okay, I'm coming down. There you go.
Love that. Get some coffee and save democracy. I love that.
Millie, trying to tell the people where they can find you, how they can support you. Do all
Wait a minute,
the
let me get Zach's point of view. What is?
Oh no, I was gonna say, make sure you know if time is running out. If you can vote early, do so. If not, make sure you're there on November the 5th at the poll, bright and early. You never know what you're gonna encounter, so you got to vote. You have one responsibility in this process. There's a whole lot of shit and extra stuff that we all do, but none of that is your actual job. You only have one job, only one responsibility, and that responsibility in democracy is to vote.
Can you tell us a little bit about your bus crusade? I saw you with
So the congressional. So Kenny was did the Congressional Black Caucus tour of the swing state of Georgia. I was invited to do the Congressional Black Caucus Political Action Committee tour of the swing state of North Carolina.
Okay.
Which was definitely, it was a little different than the one that, through Georgia, because you went from Savannah to Atlanta. And if you're familiar with Georgia, that's pretty urban and city-ish. Mine was a little bit more, rural, mountainous. I saw some great parts of North Carolina I had never seen before, learned some great history of North Carolina, went to a place called Princeville, which was one of the first Black towns and settlements in America and is one of the oldest lasting Black towns and settlements. And it was a great experience. And so I had a chance to be up close and personal with a number of congressional members and interview them and talk to them and really just engage and learn a lot. And so one thing I can say is that the Congressional Black Caucus really is the conscious of the caucus. These people are exceptionally principled. I think that to be a Black person and be able to win office and sit in Congress is just as hard today as it ever was, if not more so, right? Because there is the most Black voters we've ever had happen right after the end of the Civil War. So for Black people to have earned this opportunity and still remain principled with so many unprincipled people out there, like again, we have a person running for president who served as president who calls people garbage. We have a person who is running for president who served as president who says horrible, deplorable things. Our Black congressional leaders hold themselves to a higher standard for the culture, for the people. And that was just so apparent on this bus. They were so above board professional, even when having fun, even when being relaxed. They made things like, again, we went to 3 different churches on that Sunday. And again, they know that they are a model for the community. They are the examples of Black excellence. And for me, it was wonderful to see that these people are exactly who I thought they were.
We love that. I think we all know as content creators how bad it sucks when you meet that one person and they are not who they look like or appear to be on the internet or on TV. So it's all great when people are who they are, but I think especially as a content creator, when people show up as exactly who you thought they would or who they portray to be, that it's like even more gratifying. Y'all know me. I'm just El Murasaki over on Twitter. It's El Murasaki. Listen, I break down the news like we talking about it in your living room, okay, over a glass of wine or whatever you like to drink. We get into it, as some of my followers call it. I give the auntie news, okay, baby. I don't know much about them lottos and them shark boots and stuff, but I know what's going on in the current events, okay, and in the Twitter streets. And so that's what we talk about. I do a lot of reality TV. If you just like to bump your gums, sometimes it's intelligent and sometimes, it's bottom rung. Both times it's fun. Get you some.
Well, I'm Millie Chan. I can be found here on Millie Chan TV on YouTube, Millie Chan 08 on TikTok. And like all of us, I am a content creator. hot topics, trends, all of that. And I got into this because I felt like I wanted to make a difference and I wanted to be a part of it. And I found some amazing people who are just so versed in this and they're able to get you the information that you need. And I want to thank Tiffany for bringing Zach and Too Raw, Too Real. And in his absence, we miss you. We love you. And thank you for being a part of the Political Pulse. Um, this has been wonderful. I've learned a lot. And I really, really, really appreciate you all being here. And I'm just glad to be a part of it. Now, this is our last one because this time next week, we'll have a new president. And we may have a Political Plus party.
I was about to say maybe we should gather to party. You can find me under the bed, Todd, if it don't go the right way.
Right. But yeah, I'm your hot topics girl. I am. That's who I am, and I just really appreciate y'all being here. This has been awesome, and I want everybody to vote. Vote like your life depends on it. Your children are on the ballot. Your women, you are on the ballot. Your mothers, your grandchildren. This can affect us for so many years to come. So please think about that.
Double D, your followers have booked us for a live show. I'm trying to find the comment. And then one of your followers said we need to do a prayer episode.
Baby, ain't no way. Ain't no way. I got something to do on election night. Maybe the next day we can come and do something. But on election night, I got to go down to be with the Louisiana Democrats.
We go live on Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to be.
Listen, if Furman don't win, y'all ain't gonna see me for about 3 or 4 days, man. I'm gonna keep it a stack. I'm
gonna have a party. I'll be streaming live on my YouTube channel. I'll be the whole night. So we're gonna start, I think, at 10 o'clock. And so Kenny's gonna, Kenny. I'm saying I'm gonna be if you're in the house, like but we can maybe create a situation where you can call in. So Kenny's it's gonna be loud. I mean, it's gonna be like something to watch and enjoy. Like as results roll in, Kenny's going to be here. Brian's going to be here, and there's a number of different Atlanta people coming in. So we can create too, where if you guys want to just join in and like we can stream in too, we can do that. Now I don't know how it's going to work. Like because this is just a concept. This is a concept of a plan, but we definitely want to all be together so we can look at the results as they come and talk about breaking news. But it should be a good time. So I have a 10 o'clock. So love you all.
Wait a minute, let me say this. Supreme Court allows Virginia to resume its purge of voter registration.
Yeah, they did that earlier today. Yep.
That was earlier today. 1,600 voters, that some of them were, I'll see you in a minute, Zach. 1,600 voters that they were able to throw out, purge them because they're saying that they're not citizens. However, what the lower court determined that some of them actually were. So that was really bad. Yeah, that's really bad. But I got to join Zach, so I really got to go. I'll see you guys later, okay? Thanks so much, El Military. Take care, okay?
Thank you.
Bye-bye, players. Thank y'all for coming. Bye.